with this new law, I can't hold or support a mobile device with any part of my body while I'm driving. That means I can't even have it on my lap. And I'm sure you saw it earlier, but behind me here, a stage for live music, performances, all different types of entertainment. The SC Highway Patrol says there's 3 main intersections you need to be aware of when making your way to the fair. George Rogers Boulevard, Rosewood Drive, and Assembly Street. In 1896, Carolina and Clemson had their first football face-off, but they had been political rivals even before that. This Costco pumpkin pie cost me $5.99, and as you can see, it's literally bigger than my head. She partially attributes that drop to the availability of naloxone, an opioid overdose reversal drug that Mann says is life-changing. Officials say there has been 115 in-person voters who have come out to this polling location today so far. Yeah, thanks guys. It's feeling pretty festive out here. I've got the newsroom snowman with me and I can almost smell the chestnuts roasting. But unluckily for me, it's time for me to take on the ice. For Carolina Insider, I'm Chloe Findlay. When you drive past St. Joseph's Catholic Church on Divine Street, you probably look up. But if you go to the back of the church and down these stairs, you come across tables full of cans and refrigerators full of chicken, shrimp, and any other meat you could imagine. This is the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry, an agent of the Harvest Hope Food Bank. They prep care boxes for families in need every week.
We don't want anybody to go hungry.
That was Steve Smoke. He's the director of the food pantry at St. Joseph's. He says they are constantly looking for ways to fill the shelves.
We're very lucky to have what we have today.
With these cans, the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry is expecting to feed about 12,000 people per year. They usually see about 80 per week, but with the holidays coming up, that number is expected to jump to 150. And with the jump in demand, they called in the ringers. Students from Cardinal Newman, a Columbia Catholic high school, delivered boxes full of cans today. They too see the spike in demand for food this holiday season.
I think this year we probably had a lot more. If you correct me if I'm wrong, but we've had a lot this year. I think it was over 150 boxes. So.
Many food pantries are feeling the strain, as the lapse in SNAP funding these past few weeks have left them depleted. The COO of Feeding America said many families in need used up what reserves they had during the 43-day government shutdown. But here in Columbia, these students want to help, and they stand firm in what drives them.
Part of our faith in what we do is we give to those who need it more.
Yeah, we're supposed to give to people that are less fortunate, and if we're fortunate enough to be able to do that for them, then it's really important that we just give back.
Can I take a box? But I couldn't let these students do all the heavy lifting. I had to get in on the fun too. It's kind of heavy. In Columbia, I'm Chloe Findlay, Carolina News. Jackson loves his Tesla.
One of the things I like about this car is how it drives itself.
And according to him, it's a pretty easy car to keep running.
Charging is built right into the dashboard, so you can see where all the chargers are near your location.
Across South Carolina, Tesla has a relatively large network of chargers. And in Columbia, there are even some superchargers available, which allow you to get a couple hundred miles of range in only about 20 minutes. But South Carolinians that drive electric vehicles other than Teslas don't have the same luck.
It is difficult. We found out that there aren't many charging stations, and the ones that are there oftentimes don't work.
According to the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, South Carolina ranks 40th in the nation for fast electric vehicle chargers per capita. But with Scout Motors building a $2 billion electric vehicle plant in Blythewood, the number of people who drive electric cars will likely increase. And that means one question remains. Is it going to get easier to drive an electric car? As the South Carolina Department of Transportation says, yes. They are hoping to increase electric vehicle charging infrastructure across the state through a federally funded program called NEVI, National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure. Carolina News reached out to SCDOT, but no one would sit down for an interview. They instead provided us with this statement. SCDOT's goal is to create an equitable charging network that helps reduce range anxiety, supports economic development, and accommodates the expected growth in EV ownership. But the issue is, plans to improve electric vehicle infrastructure have been tossed around since 2022, and the Trump administration's suspension of the NEVI program last January stalled progress, and drivers are feeling the effects.
I try to charge in my vehicle, and I only allowed an hour to charge with them, and I get all of 7 miles. which is nothing. It's no use at all.
SCDOT submitted a new NEVI plan last August to improve EV infrastructure as the number of South Carolinians driving electric vehicles continues to increase.
All right.
That plan, however, is still awaiting federal approval. And although they may desire more charging stations now, many EV drivers say they won't ever go back to a gas pump again. In Columbia, I'm Chloe Findlay, Carolina News. A growing number of young parishioners are taking part in Catholic traditions.
Anytime we can be close to Christ, that's our call, that's our goal. How can we be closest as possible?
A 2018 study found South Carolina was the 5th most Protestant state in the U.S., with Catholicism being a much smaller percentage of churchgoers.
We're 205,000 registered Catholics, I believe. And the state's pushing, 6 million now?
But local dioceses are reporting an uptick in attendance. The Diocese of Charleston, for example, which oversees all of the Catholic churches in South Carolina, saw a 14% increase in parishioners in the last decade. One of the main reasons for the growth of the diocese is because of students. A Harvard study showed that the percentage of Gen Z who identified as Catholic jumped from 15% to 21% in 2023. And here at St. Thomas More, the Catholic campus ministry at USC, the numbers also keep growing. According to Father Williams, the priest at St. Thomas More, weekly Sunday Mass attendance has increased over 260% since 2021. Carolina News found that many younger Catholics were seeking something similar: comfort and helping make sense of their feelings.
I feel like a lot of kids my age are looking for something to live for.
Recent National Institute of Health studies show that nearly half of Gen Z often or always feels anxious, and over 20% often or always feel depressed. But for these students, they found what grounds them.
Felt so strongly to me, and I knew that that was God. Like, there is nothing else that could give me that feeling, and like knowing that, like, I don't know, he's just so great and he's just so loving.
But despite these testimonies, 79% of students who come into college Catholic will not leave Catholic.
And so that's why this battleground, it's the first place, the first time where you get to choose. What do you believe?
So that is why Catholic student ministries across the state, like St. Thomas More, place emphasis not only on what's above, but what is around them. For Carolina News, I'm Chloe Findlay.